There's nothing more satisfying than a steaming hot bowl of soup. And this Southwestern Winter Squash Chowder is one of my favorites. So this recipe is from Amy Goldman's The Complete Squash, A Passionate Grower's Guide to Pumpkins, Squashes, and Gourds. This is a beautiful book for not only the cook but also the gardener. She has profiled all of the different groups and different squashes, and they're beautifully photographed, and in the back there's a handful of recipes. So I'm making her a Southwestern Winter Squash Chowder, and you're gonna love it. This is a large recipe. I'm gonna make it as it's written in the book, so you get a sense for how much soup it will yield. Usually serves about 8 or 10. So if you don't want that much soup, go ahead and cut the recipe in half, but I'm just gonna share some with friends, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the whole thing. For starters, you'll need to prep all your ingredients. I do everything the recipe is going to require. I do all my peeling, chopping, slicing, dicing, shredding, and mix my spices together in a small bowl. So when the soup is cooking and everything's ready to assemble and put together, you're ready to go. You don't have to stop and chop anything. This video, take a minute and hit the thumbs up. It really helps others find their way here. Okay, let's talk stock. During the summer, when I've got a garden full of stuff, I love making veggie stock. I pull out leeks, celery, whatever I have out there. And I generally, when I prep vegetables, like I'll put my mushroom stems, I'll put peels in a Ziploc bag in the freezer and keep it. And when I've got a full bag, then I'll go ahead and add a few onions and make stock out of that. But I don't have any right now, so I'm going to give you my favorite cheater stock. My favorite is Rapunzel veggie bouillon cubes. I prefer the broth made from these bouillon cubes better than anything that you can buy in a carton or can. I don't really know of any cans that I like. I haven't had one that I would want to drink. And if you taste it and you don't want to drink it, you probably don't want to cook with it. So these are wonderful, and they don't take up a lot of room, which is nice. And my second favorite is made by a friend of mine who owns a little health food store, Mother's Marketplace in Hood River, Oregon. You can probably find them online. They have a website. But Margaret makes a chicken style and a beef style seasoning blend, and it's nutritional yeast based with vegetables and spices, and it's extraordinarily good, and it makes a delicious easy broth. So those are what I use when I don't have fresh veggie stock on hand. So heat up your pan over medium-high heat, and you're going to melt your butter and add your oil. We're going to saute the peppers and the onions for about 5 minutes, just until the onions become translucent. And I'm going to add in our flour and spices. So this is flour, salt, and pepper. I'm going to add in my potatoes, my sweet potatoes, and my squash. I'm leaving out the zucchini just because I like to throw that in at the very end so it stays nice and crisp. For 8 cups of water, I add 3 bouillon cubes. So cook this for 20 minutes until your squash and potatoes are nice and tender.
Looks like everything's nice and tender. I'm just going to give it a quick buzz. And if you are going to use the blender, be very careful. Blending hot liquids is really dangerous because the steam builds up in the blender and can pop the top off, and then hot liquid goes everywhere. So if you are blending, just put a little bit of soup in the bottom and maybe do it in 2 batches. And take a towel and put over the top of your blender and hold the top down really well.
And you just want to heat this up until the cheese is melted, maybe for like 2 or 3 minutes, just until the zucchinis get a little bit cooked. If you're making a soup and you take a bunch of ingredients and you start to chop, you're like, do I chop these big? Do I chop them little? If you consider the product, the end result, the soup, and what you want to accomplish, is you want to accomplish pieces to fit on your spoon. So when you dig into your soup, you want little pieces of chili, you want little pieces of pepper, you want a few potatoes. If you cut big chunks and you get one big potato in the soup, you're going to have a completely different experience than if you can reach in and get little pieces of a bunch of different vegetables.